Hello everyone, Pete and Grata here from the Purple House Wellness Centre in Forth with some information regarding acid reflux and acid in the stomach.
Anyway, we actually just wanted to shine the torchlight into the inside of your stomach again, because most people get it wrong and they make the mistake to think that, oh, my stomach is burning, or I have burping, or I feel uncomfortable after a meal, or even all day long, and then they think they have too much stomach acid, when actually 99% of the time you have not enough stomach acid.
So bloating with burping and reflux is a sure sign that you probably haven't got enough. Yeah.
And so let's explain about stomach acid a bit, what it is. So stomach acid has a pH of around 1, that's true, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah, between 1 and 2 during digestion.
So that is equivalent to, like, say, car battery acid, or even more acidic than a car battery acid.
Well, criminals use hydrochloric acid, which is what our stomach produces, to get rid of bodies of people they've killed.
That's right, they get rid of the evidence.
And our stomach is exactly the same as that. We throw big lumps of meat down there and they dissolve, they disappear.
Apples or anything.
Yeah, and back in the Civil War in America, there were some doctors, a chap was brought in, he was pretty well
a hole in his stomach,
blown apart, but he had a hole in his abdomen into his stomach, and they did some experiments on him before he died. And they put a bone into his stomach and watch it dissolve and disappear.
Because he was still alive enough to produce hydrochloric acid, and they just noticed how they ate the bone and digested it for him, I guess, didn't they?
Yeah, but our stomach is the only place that can withstand that. We know if it starts refluxing back up, we get burning in the esophagus. Our small intestine doesn't like it either. The stomach's the only place, but it has to get down to a pH of between 1 and 2 to really digest those proteins properly, breaks them down to amino acids, which are building blocks for new cells. So if we get reflux and dampen down that burning and pain with antacids or proton pump inhibitors, which are medication to stop the acid production, we're not getting the nutrients from proteins for new cells, and our bodies will suffer.
So they're not harmless, and we actually want to talk about it today because antacid over-the-counter medication are some of the most common ones that people buy. So they're high on the list. So there are millions and millions of people who just pop these pills every day and it makes them feel better. But they were never designed to be long-term. They're really only designed for you to eat them maybe for 2 or 3 days, maybe 3 weeks at the very most, but definitely not a year. And some of our clients have been on them for like 2 decades. And they actually come to us, I just quickly want to say that, because they are completely broken down after 2 decades. It's like every part of their body is broken because they've been missing out on the building blocks, and the cells haven't been able to regenerate themselves.
If you get an ulcer in your stomach, you might have to keep the acid away from it so it will heal. But the stomach lining replaces itself about every 5 days.
No, it's every 5 minutes, sorry. So the cells where the hydrochloric acid is produced, those cells are replaced every 4 to 5 minutes. Yeah,
but the whole lining is replaced every 4 to 5 days. So keeping the acid away from it for, say, 2 to 3 weeks with the Nexium or something like that, will aid the stomach to heal. But the reason why you got that ulcer was from a bacteria that wasn't killed by having too much, not having enough acid in the stomach. The acid is there to kill everything that's meant to be dead before it goes through into the intestine.
Yeah, including worms and parasites as well. People with low stomach acid often become infested with worms, and of course that creates more problems in your body, right? We've talked about worms before. So also, aside from worms, bacterial overgrowth, all kinds of sorry, I'm bumping the thing. So the chemistry of your body goes basically cold. So think of your stomach as like a beautiful little campfire. A healthy stomach, it's like a little campfire that you sit around and it glows and it's warm, it warms you up and it's crackling and sparkling and it just makes you feel good, especially when it's dark and cold, right? Now think of your little stomach campfire, a campfire that just won't get going and it's raining and drizzling and you're relying on the campfire to keep you warm.
And you've only got wet wood to put on it.
That's right. And maybe it's like smouldering embers, right? So you just have a tiny, tiny bit of life left in it, but not really enough. And so it needs careful nurturing with like a few little dry sticks or a little bit of dry paper or something like that. And that's what you need to do for your stomach acid, your stomach fire. If your stomach is healthy, trust me, I promise you, you're going to feel so good in yourself. You just feel like warm and relaxed and people don't irritate you and like your nails are shiny, your hair is good, even your eyes are good.
Yeah, the eyes have got the smallest muscles in the body, and if we lack protein digestion, your eye muscles are the first to be affected by lack of amino acids, lack of protein. So our eyes will
they'll let you know.
They'll let you know.
That's right, because we've heard our clients say, well, I was driving to town yesterday and I felt like I couldn't see properly, like everything was blurry or I couldn't see the signs or something as well as I normally do. But then they say, and I've had this before, but then it comes right again. So if you like that some days your vision is great and other days it's not so good, it's always connected to your stomach hydrochloric. Yeah. On the days you're not seeing well, that means your stomach acid levels are too low. So let's have do you reckon we've told enough or not?
Yeah, and if people are under a lot of stress, they'll be pumping out adrenaline, and normally when we pump out adrenaline, it's a normal body function if we're in flight and fright, if we're running away from or standing up and having a fight. And the last thing our body needs to do when we're doing that is digest our food. So that cuts hydrochloric acid production.
For sure.
So if we're under a lot of stress, we need to boost our stomach acid contents at mealtime to be breaking the proteins down properly, the food down properly to get the nutrients from it. That's
right. So what I said about nursing that little campfire, that smouldering with like a little bit of dry paper or like what are those firelighters? They would be ideal, wouldn't it? So your firelighters are actually like this. We're talking about betaine HCl, which is completely natural, completely non-invasive, very, very healthy. What's it made from, Pete?
It's made from the beet, but the HCl part is the hydrochloride, which is the same letters as hydrochloric acid, HCl, and that will boost the HCl in your stomach,
keep it healthy,
really keep it fired up, how
it's meant to be.
Yeah, improve healthy digestion even more.
And so it's also very, very affordable. So this has got 240 capsules. Peter can work that out, how long that will last you. Even if you were to take one every meal, that's 3 days. So that is 80 days. But
80 days. Often people need 3 or 4 or even up to 5 a meal initially, particularly if they're under a lot of stress.
Yeah. And it's only like $42, I was going to say. 43 actually. $42.95 to be precise. So it's like nothing compared to what the benefits, the value, that you're going to get from it, because most people get this completely wrong. They think, I'm burning up on this, I have to kill my fire, when actually there's no fire at all. The burning sensation that you get is from the food rotting literally in your stomach.
Well, it still is slightly acidic, so it will burn.
But it's actually kind of, because it's not being digested properly. It's like, imagine trying to cook a meal or something, let's say a piece of steak or something, and you simmer it on the stove on very, very low heat, and then like maybe just one little flame going, and then after 2 days it still hasn't cooked and might even start to stink, right? So that's what happens in your stomach. That's why people also have bad breath, right? Bad breath is not from having too much stomach acid, it's from not having enough.
I've also had some people come to me and having reflux, and it's the main. I've run their urine numbers to get their ureas, and the main reason is that their bile isn't flowing properly. The bile neutralises that stomach acid as it leaves the stomach. Just when it hits the small intestine, the gallbladder gives a squeeze of concentrated bile, and if that doesn't happen, then the small bowel that likes to be neutral pH starts to be burnt, and the body in its wisdom says, get this out of here as quick as you can, so it'll either go downwards or back up through the stomach. And getting the bile flow going is essential to really prevent that sort of reflux happening.
Also, when it goes down in the toilet, that means you get diarrhea. So people have explosive diarrhea, they just have to run to the toilet all the time.
The more acidic the bowel is, the more peristalsis happens. So you get looser bowel action usually. And the bile neutralises that acid. It's like pouring bicarbs of soda on vinegar. It's 100,000 times difference in pH, and it blows the food to smithereens. That's if it hasn't been broken down properly in the stomach, but that's what completes the digestive process. So they're broken down to the smallest possible particles, and the body has the nutrients it needs for good health.
I know, it just goes, here's the smorgasbord, you know.
So to get healthy digestion really cranked up, to give you
full potential,
amazing health, full potential, this one helps your acid amounts to be strong.
Gets the bile
flow, helps healthy bile flow, and an enzyme. I recommend everyone have an enzyme with every meal, because the foods we eat are devoid of enzymes, and enzymes are essential to help break them down. Mm-hmm. And we cook them, which destroys the enzymes.
Other than fermented food, of course, right?
Fermented foods are full of good enzymes.
They're teeming with enzymes.
To the bacteria.
Yeah, billions. Yeah. You know, well, I mean, no, I would say billions of good bacteria.
This one will get your nervous system nicely in nice shape, so you're not in that
fight and flight.
Flight and fright. This one helps with getting a healthy autonomic nervous system going properly.
Yeah, magnesium nearly serves like a cutout switch.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, like in an energy circuit, like if you lose the electricity around the house or something, or no, whatever. If you have a child that pokes what do you call it? A nail into the PowerPoint. One of my little nephews did that once. Anyway, there's a cutout switch, right? So the child doesn't get cooked. That's what magnesium does to your body. So when you get like really over more and more charge in your body, magnesium is that cutout switch, so you don't cook your nervous system. Many people who come to us really are in a state of fight and flight, and we see this whole cascade of events happening on the inside in your digestion, that with a little bit of tweak, you know, you have your body back. Because it doesn't matter, some people have been on the wrong kind of over-the-counter medication, like I said before, for decades, sometimes for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. But it only takes your body like a few weeks to come back into homeostasis. That means it only takes your body a few weeks, literally never more than 6 weeks, if you call the worst case of digestion, to reach a new state of functioning, that everything starts to function well again, and you feel the results immediately. And people will say to you, what are you on? Like your hair is shine, like I love your hair, or I love the way your eyes shine, or your skin is glowing, and it's all your body's doing that for you. So that's really what we are talking about here. But so the first step is really your stomach. So this quickly want to say, it's also important that if you feel stressed and uptight, that you don't eat. Don't eat when you just have a warm drink.
Don't eat on the run.
As well, no.
Because normally, if we're on the run, we're stressed. We stress our body. If we get a fright, we go into that flight and fright side. It's meant to pendulum back to the rest and digest side, our parasympathetic nervous system, so we can sleep and digest our food better. And this one the magnesium will get that autonomic nervous system nice and healthy. So it's going to that rest and digest side, so we have proper
because your body already knows.
And proper sleep.
Yeah, your body knows what to do. It really does. It's not as if we have to take your body manually by the hand and shake it up. Literally, your body knows what to do. It's just lacking in something, or it's always too much of something else, maybe too much stress, too much work, too much whatever, too much crisis, too much drama. So also remove yourself from dramas as much as you can, and spend a little bit extra time like doing things that are good for you, like read a book on the couch, turn off the phone, or just have a little power nap in the afternoon, or just do things, sit under a tree, that calm your nervous system down.
Have a nice warm Epsom salt bath.
Yeah, that's right. That's really good too. Just slot a few of those little extra simple life changes into your daily life, and everything will start working for you. Oh well, and of course, also healing sessions. So like if you come for a healing session with Pete and me, we really help you to for your all systems of your body get an upgrade, so you feel thoroughly supported, like every cell in your body actually feels supported, because that's really important to us. And then if you want to have a complete health analysis, that is like having a look under the bonnet of your car and have a look at the motor, have a look at the starter motor, that's your thyroid, have a look at your blood, have a look at all your body systems, so we get a real baseline. Peter does that. It's called a complete health analysis, and then literally you can be built up from your weakest link up, because your body is only ever as strong as your weakest link. Right? That's true, isn't it?
Yeah, quite often people will say they're in adrenal burnout. Well, I can determine that with some of the things I do.
Instantly, and you're in the room with Peter, so it's not like, oh, he takes all these tests and you'll hear about it a few weeks later. No, you hear it straight away, you find out then and then. Plus, you get to have a look at your own blood under a microscope, which is also amazing. I think everyone should have a look at their own blood once in a blue moon, just so you have respect for your body. It
would be good to keep it checked every 6 months, I would say.
Yeah.
Even if you've had it done in the past, come and have another look, because it will alter if you're not looking after yourself.
Because really it's so interesting.
Because if our bodies are not getting the nutrients that it needs, things start going amiss. We either have things happen to us due to toxicity or deficiency, and that deficiency one is
very important.
Very important, and that's we get the things from our digestive system that create
good health.
Sufficient things for good health.
All right, thanks everyone. We really appreciate you hanging in there and always listening to our yarns when we tell stories that we feel passionate about. We're here to help you. It looks like the internet's cracking up. So have a really great week, everyone. I'll put a link for bookings in under the video. You can check it out. And we're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yep.
If you have any questions, reach out to us. Okay, bye.